Roger. Go for deploy.
Alrighty, guys, please listen to this announcement before you go any further with this show. This is a very serious announcement. I know people skip through the intro sometimes, so please do not do that. This show that you're about to listen to, if you decide to go ahead with it, is extremely explicit. Me and Tommy interviewed Yasmin Scott, who was a lovely chick. She was hilarious, really good fun.
Yep.
She's a porn star, and this just isn't for the faint of heart.
No.
So there's talk of this
Highly sexual activity and
yeah. There's talk of it's not vulgar, but it's extreme. It comes from a good place.
Yes.
But it's if you're a little squeamish and you don't want to hear about some of the inside, some of the things that go on in a porn star's mind and in the porn industry, then this show's not for you. If this was to be rated by old school television ratings that are M15 R rated,
Yep.
this is XXX rated.
correct.
So
yeah.
please proceed with caution if you decide to listen to the show. Having said that, it was really fun and a really interesting chat. There's some fucking gags in there. It was good. So
And again, too, guys, just remember that, speaking maturely here, that at the end of the day, it is just sex. That is her job. And what she talks about, like Bill said, comes from a good place. And you'll get the hint very quickly that she does talk about it as though it is just her job.
it's just a little bit of hummus in the hummus.
Hummus in the hummus. Yeah, which is fine. We don't mind that. So.
If you like listening to a little bit of hummus in the hummus, then you'll like this show.
You like the show, yes.
This show is brought to you by True Pride. Head to www.truepride.com.au/ADVF. They're a wealth creation service. If you think they can help you, book a call with the guys. If you decide to go ahead, you get your joining fee waived of $297. This show is also brought to you by Carve. Head to www.carve.ph/ADVF. Get 10 hours free if you decide to check them out. I can't recommend it more highly, guys. If you have any questions about how Carve works, email me directly, doc@adventurefittravel.com. And also brought to you by adventurefittravel.com. Make sure you head to adventurefittravel.com and check out what we have going on. We've got lots of trips coming up, and you can get 10% off any and all trips that we do by using the code word radio. So radio in when you go to purchase, and you'll get 10% off. There is lots going on. Make sure you join our mailing list so you don't miss out on anything at all. Here's the Humal. Alrighty, welcome back to Adventure Fit Radio, guys. We're sitting here today with Yasmin Scott, porn star extraordinaire from Australia, homegrown star.
Homegrown extraordinaire.
We are at Sexpo. Before we throw over to Yasmin and welcome her, we're going to throw to what I believe will probably be one of the more awkward, Tommy's tribute.
Alrighty, well, welcome aboard, Yasmin. I actually have dubbed over Wicked Game by Chris Isaac because I wanted to make it nice and, essential as well. So I think I just said essential. I'm already up and about.
Essential listening.
It's essential listening. Okay, here we go. What a wicked thing to do. To see you naked, I've got to subscribe to you. What a wicked thing to say. It's gonna cost me $2 a day, and I'm in love with you. If only you knew what you made me do. When no one's home and I'm on my computer. I feel like I know you so well, except we've never said hello. Maybe I should return the favor and participate in some erotic behavior. And I'm in love with you.
That's strong, man. That's good.
If only you knew what you made me do. When my favorite episode of Orange is the New Black is on and the room temperature is about 20 degrees. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. It was
wonderful.
No worries.
Wow.
Wonderful and bizarre.
You really navigated those waters reasonably well there, Tommy, I think.
I was trying to stay morally PG there.
Yasmin, hey, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Cool. So why don't you tell us, what are you doing here? Firstly, we're at Sexpo in Melbourne.
Well, my agent liaised with Sexpo, and I got myself and a couple of other girls that he represents a booth. So we're guests of Sexpo. Thank you for having us, and we're having a really great time. So
Beautiful.
here representing my agent and ourselves, and promoting obviously what we do, and yeah.
Cool.
Cool. And so what is it that you do? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do now. Well, I mean,
finance. And,
alrighty, I wasn't expecting to go right there, right now. I'm kind of busted after that, but cocked to do
Waited
else.
for the first time on camera.
Alrighty, I'm officially fucking hell. This is going out of hand. I didn't think it was going to go like this. Oh shit,
that's fantastic. That's good.
All right, let me rephrase that. What got you into porn?
Well, I'm a showgirl, like a stripper, do feature shows. And then I'd been nude modelling for a few years. I'd done Australian Penthouse and a couple of other magazines, a picture magazine I had done. And then I kind of got bored. I was like, I'm bored again now because that happens to me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do porno. So that's when I met my agent who's out in LA, got sorted out with the work requirements and everything, and jet set it over and just took it from there. And I've been to, US a couple of times, Europe a few times, and yeah, now I'm up to my first double penetration, done a couple of
Congratulations.
months now. Thank you very much.
Something I aspired to at one point in my life.
Well, when I was 11, I aspired, didn't know what it was, but I wanted to do it. So I want to do that someday.
I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'll get into it.
Okay, so how long have you been? When did that whole transition take place? How long have you been in the porn industry for?
Well, that was I started filming a year and a half ago. So, but the nude modelling for the mags has been about 5 years.
Right. And do you think that's like, do you think the nude modelling, obviously in your case, it's a gateway, it's the first step?
But when I say showgirl, I am the more explicit kind of showgirl. Like I do the X-rated dildo shows and the lesbian duo shows. So I was doing like...
We're so immature, Tommy.
That's great.
I was doing those live shows like for bucks parties and whatever already. So it was kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to do it on camera. Like...
That was definitely the way I started. Look, when I was, I was doing a lot of showgirl stuff. And, do you know what? It's just interesting. Is it actually hard to get work? Or is it very easy? Because I've heard two different sides to it. I would assume that there would just be unlimited work. But is it actually quite hard to get a role in LA, for example? You
got to build your name up, And if you're a dud, then you're a dud, right?
Yeah,
and word gets around, right? But
so how do you become a dud?
No one likes a starfish.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
That's true.
There you go. So do you actually, when you say porn, is it is it like, do you have your certain areas that you go? So you'll go male and female, like big bunches of guys. Did you start with one thing, or you were a little trepidatious to go?
Yeah, I started off really, really vanilla.
Missionary position.
No,
one
not
nerdy
just
white
missionary
guy.
position. Just standard, like boy, girl. Really like softer type scenes.
Yep.
And then as I got into, I find things out about my sexuality too, which is why one of the reasons why I love it so much. Like, I never knew that I loved being choked, right? Just choke me. Spit in my face. I love being thrown around. Like, my agent said to me when he first took me on that if I would do anal, and I was like, no. I one of my ex-boyfriends tried to fuck me up the ass once. It really hurt me, so I was really traumatized by that. I was like, nah. definitely no anal. Now I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I just want the cocks in my ass. Like,
Straight up the
up.
hummus.
I just like anal, right? You know? So, you know, I like
The
now.
hummus in the hummus.
I discover things about myself too. And, you know, it's very liberating for a woman to embrace your sexuality. It's not just a guy's thing, right? You know?
Cool.
So that's a good point we can touch on there. So how do you feel about the whole thing of porn is objectifying women and it's
Absolutely no way. That is bollocks.
Really? Can you shed some light on
Total
that?
bollocks, huh?
Can you shed some light on why that is?
Well, you know, I think it's just such a backward way of, you know, viewing that, because men have been allowed, like when men, for example, like going back in history, have been able to like, you know, do whatever they want, fuck whoever they want, blah, 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 blah. But it's always, you know, the chicks are, you know, stay at home, be a little housewife, blah, 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 blah. No, like why can't women go like, you know, be able to embrace their sexuality too?
Go right into it.
You know, why is it just a man thing? And, you know, and now like, yeah, I just think I think it's empowering to women that, you know, guys pay to watch us fuck. Like they want to be that guy who fucks us, right? It's totally not objectifying, or I choose this job.
Yeah, for sure.
I choose it. It's
Yeah.
not like I have any. I used to work for the government before I even got into
Really?
the. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's obviously
It's-
government job,
Yeah, government.
showgirl, porn
and then
star.
anal.
Yeah, like I choose this life. I choose this career
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
good,
choose
sure.
this industry, and I chose all of it. It's not something that I have to do. You know, this whole stereotype of, about drugs and no. Or, you know, you're doing it to feed your drug habit, or you're doing it to feed your children because you're a single mother and being really stereotypical, or someone's forcing you to do this. No. None of us. None
Because
of
it's
us
actually
like
quite
that.
highly regulated and, you know, it's very
Hugely
legal.
regulated. Like all that's like drugs and completely no.
Really?
Totally
So do you get drug tested?
not drug
Or
tested.
it's just really frowned upon if you're like,
no, if you turn up to set and you have any inkling of anything, I mean, there are other companies even film you footage where withholding your ID, saying you're not saying, are you under the influence of any drug or alcohol? Have you been forced? You're here of your own free choice and will. You know what this production is
Yeah.
for. Blah 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 blah. But if you have any inkling of any kind of drugs or alcohol, you'll be sent off. You'll be sent away
Straight away.
It's big no no.
Right. So you say how you chose this life, obviously, and that's great.
And this career,
and
like this is a career.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah.
Well, that was kind of where I was going. Like, is it a really? You don't have to tell numbers or anything, but is it a lucrative career? Is there a reason like why you call it a career that you chose, and is it financially a good career to be in, a good place to be?
Yeah.
Place to be in? Does that make sense?
I'm not in it for money when you say lucrative, because you can't do any job unless you love it. You know, like I don't think that brain surgeons get paid well, but you couldn't sit there in that job, you know, doing what they do unless they were very passionate about it. And
Yeah.
the same goes for this. I mean, there's a lot of work on the other side of the fence that goes into what comes out. So, you know, you can't do any job unless you love it and you really want to do it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And it's definitely like an industry like this that would show straight away in all the videos if you weren't keen. Like we were talking about duds before. You know, if you didn't like it, you're a dud. You know?
You're a dad.
So what about are you? Can I ask? Do you have a partner? Are you?
Currently, no, but that's
currently no.
because I'm traveling so much.
Tommy's also single. Tommy's
Yeah, that's true. I am single and find you extremely attractive. You know, and we're getting along well, so we should have a beer.
I have a guitar. We
that's
could
good.
serenade together.
We could definitely serenade together. Yeah. Wearing nothing but undies.
But have you had since you've been in the industry? Have you had partners? Have you had a boyfriend or while you've been working?
Not in the filming side, since I've been shooting film. But that's purely because I'm really not in the one place long enough to establish something.
Yep.
Not because of any other reason.
Because you've been moving around a lot.
Yeah.
And how do you? Me and Tommy were talking about this when we were walking the Sexpo floor before. Because it's like you say, people have a stigma with porn, and they make up their own assumptions. So for anyone listening, probably most people listening, it feels funny for somebody to think, okay, these guys are, she's married with kids, and she's married to another a director or another star, and they obviously have sex with other people in shoots, and it's a professional, it's work, you know. Do you do you subscribe by that same theory? Like, would you be happy to find a guy, settle down, and
totally.
then
Totally, of course. I mean, I think that's why a lot of people, you know, you end up marrying other actors or directors and things like that, because you're in the business and you just understand.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
But it's a completely normal job, right?
Yeah.
You go to work, you come home.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I can still see, you know, playing devil's advocate, the intimacy thing. Like, for some people, it looks like intimacy to people watching. Whereas I'm sure in your opinion, it's not. It's your work.
It's
you know.
your job.
So, but it is definitely.
It's a really great job.
Like,
though.
how do you? Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe. We both want to get into it.
I've already handed in my resume to.
We were both talking about that before. They say like your porn name's your first street name and then your first animal.
It's your I'm pretty sure it's your first pet's name and then your street name.
Yeah. So
what was yours?
So have a listen to his first.
No, you go yours first.
Well, mine's not as good because his is way better.
Mine's the punchline.
Yeah,
mine's
true.
perfect.
So yours is obviously Yasmin Scott. So you had a little animal called Scotty. Mine's Phil Reed. I feel like I walk around like a Phil. Yeah, like Phil Reed. Hey, what's going on?
He needs to have a deeper voice. I think.
Sounds like a serial killer's name.
Hey, Phil Reed, if you don't come over here, I'm gonna, you know, it'll be the last thing we ever do.
All right. So
what's yours?
This is not a joke. This is not a joke. I grew up in a house in Rosebud, and the street was called Spray Street. Spray Street. So we're not off to a good start here. And my first dog was a red heeler, and I named him when I was 4 years old or something like that. I named him on the way back from KFC, and I said, "Mum, I don't know what I'm going to name him. I don't know what I'm going to name him." And I picked up a chicken nugget. I said, "I'm going to name him Nugget."
Yeah.
So my porn star name is officially Nugget Spray.
How good is that? That's the best. I wish I had Nugget Spray.
I've got a future in the industry. Come on, let's be honest.
I kind of want to look up Nugget Spray.
What's that?
I kind of want to look up Nugget Spray. Like, I feel like unless you've got that painted, I reckon there's going to be a Nugget Spray already out there. Nugget Spray, Yasmin Scott together in half an hour.
So, what would your porn star name going off that rhetoric?
I've done this before. Mine was Penny Park.
Penny Park.
Penny Park.
Ooh, that's Penny.
Penny Park, your hamal in my hamas.
Yeah. Because of course your real name is obviously Yasmin Scott.
It's totally
Real.
my real name.
Yeah.
So Yasmin Scott's your alias? It is your alias.
Yeah, it's my alias.
And how did you pick that?
Okay, well, Yasmin was already my stripper name, which so because I still had a government job when I became a stripper, like in a showgirl. So honestly, I just needed a name, and I was like, okay, that sounds fine. And
Duncan.
then I didn't really know what was going to happen 4.5 years later. So that name had already been with me all this time. So I told my agent, I'm just going to use my name Yasmin. We needed a second name for me, and I got that when I went to America.
Okay.
Before I started filming.
The Scott part of the
Yasmin. Scott.
Oh, okay, cool.
Scott came along.
Yep. Old mate Scotty.
Cool.
Old mate Scotty.
So, were you like? Do you think you were predisposed to end up in this industry? Are you?
I think so. I was a total slut my whole life.
That was going to be my next question.
You know what?
I don't need to ask the hard questions. I just start talking, and Yasmin's like, "Yeah, double penetration, squirt everywhere."
I was a total whore.
Whoa,
I've always been a bit of a whore.
It's a big word.
Right, big word.
What do you mean? Like you started having sex with people really young, and you were just
it was young.
This is boding well for you, Tommy, and later tonight, like you're saying.
I'm very excited, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty...
I want to get to know you on a deeper level, though. I'm not like one of those other guys. I'm a real, genuine guy.
Sorry, continue.
Sorry, Yasmin.
Yeah, well, it was young for then, but now in today's society, it's kind of not really young. They're losing at 10 years old or 11 or whatever. But
Jesus, are they?
yeah,
Fuck
super
me.
young now.
That's crazy.
Yeah. for me, I was 15, and it's like, oh yeah, that's old. But back then, I was one of the first in school to release it.
Yeah, I was 15.
Yep.
You think that's because
I was 43. Yeah, it was a while
Stop
ago.
swearing a bit on this.
Nah, it's all right. We say
fuck
lots of
all the
swear
time.
words.
Okay.
Make you feel home.
So do you think that's interesting question? Like, kids are having sex really, really young. Obviously, we haven't had the internet. You know, man, I'm 30. Tommy's 23. We are just on that brink of
You're 23.
I'm 23.
I meant to say 28. He's 28.
I said 43.
He's 28. He has a really established business. He's a sorry.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm 7'3", lying down.
All right. Too many dick gags here. We actually have tell lots of dick jokes in our show when we're not talking to a porn star. So
yeah, that's right.
It was only going to be amplified today.
Yeah, that's right.
But do you think that's because kids are having sex really young? Do you think when I was talking to Tommy about this when we had a podcast this morning, we just had one between me and Tommy, and we talked about the first time we basically came. Like, and mine was riding a big blow-up dragon at the local swim centre. But then after that, it was like I had one porno mag that I would hide in the bushes near my house under a plastic tub, and I would go get it when my mum and dad were away. Like, what I'm saying is now,
Did
like,
you
you're
find
a kid.
the porno mag progressively more used when you take it?
Yeah, I don't know. It was my mag and my mag alone. But yes, it was getting much more but.
Very good.
My question is, like, now we have the internet where at the click of your finger as a kid, you can watch porn.
Yeah.
And once you hear about something like that when you're a kid, you're like, oh, have you heard about porn? Like, oh, do you know Santa Claus is dead? Yeah. I mean, Santa Claus isn't real. Have you heard about porn? You know, you're going to go straight home and you're going to, whatever you can do, you're going to get your mum's phone, or they're going to go out and you're going to look at porn. Do you think that's why kids are having sex younger, because the porn industry is so in your face now?
I just think it's becoming more acceptable that, you know, sex is just a normal part of life. Porn is also more readily available as well. Like, there's the internet, so it's just there, right? A click of a finger. It's not like when I was in school, you had to somehow source like a DVD or whatever.
Go down to the art gallery and have a look at the naked calendar.
I go straight for my mum and dad's under the bed.
But totally, like, it's just there, and like even just on TV and stuff, like the ratings are becoming less stringent and stuff, and they talk about things more openly, and it's not as taboo. But you go to other countries and it's not taboo at all. It's like, go to Europe, oh my God, it's just like
yeah, too much porn.
Sex there,
yeah, Australia's
like Sexpo every day.
Really restricted, but it's it's coming along.
Do you think that's going to have any negative drawbacks in the future? Like, if let's just say we're all early 20th century right now, and we're all smoking. There's no research to determine the fact that smoking is bad for you.
Yeah.
It's like the same of us with porn right now, like 10 to 15 years down the track, are we all going to be
porn gives you cancer.
desensitized? Fuck yeah, porn gives you cancer. Are we all going to be like desensitized, real weird, creepy people, and are all just, I don't know. The biggest thing I actually want to ask, do you think we're going to be able to feel genuine emotions when we make love with the increase of porn?
Oh, totally.
Yeah?
Totally. I've fucked heaps of like Europeans and
Have you made love to them?
Well, making love is like, I think, a relationship type.
Yeah.
Like, you're in a loving relationship, making love, right? But totally, I think it enhances, because it enhances the relationship, because you can learn about different positions, different things. It's a sexual education thing. And some people don't want to talk about stuff, and they go, oh, how about we try this, how about we try that? I think it brings couples together.
It's a fair point.
Well, it's a good example of that today.
What was
walking around on the floor at Sexpo, and there's tons of couples holding hands,
Heaps.
like looking at
Heaps of couples.
Yeah, looking at fleshlights and stuff.
And like the other population was just creepy dudes. Oh God, great though, really good, really good.
Yeah. Okay. So, what about this is something that I've always wanted to ask a porn star is, do your parents know what you do?
They think you still work in the government?
Told them, but not that I've told them, but that's I'm sure that they know.
Right. No. Okay. Well, you can't really answer my question, I suppose, then, because there's not really a yes or a no there. But my question was going to be, Yeah, like, what do you think? Obviously, because there's your daddy's little girl is doing porn. So that's obviously a touchy subject. Probably for the and it shows that it is in some way because you don't talk to your parents about it openly, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, what's that? How's that feel for you? Why don't you tell us how it feels from your end?
Yeah, I guess, you know what, like, you know, I don't tell my parents a lot of things, but it's not because of, you know, if they know, and I don't particularly care. They know this is what I do and it makes me happy.
Yeah.
But it's still not something that I want to just shove in their face, you know?
Physically and metaphorically.
Only because, you know, like, I am their little girl.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, just respect for them that they probably don't want to know about, you know, a guy fucking my pussy and a guy fucking my butthole at the same time, right? It's not something I want them to envision.
Yeah.
But you know, if they know, and they're not going to stop me from doing what I love.
That's the thing. I think, having said that, they would be more disappointed if you weren't doing something that you really, really loved.
Totally. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the most important thing. But, I mean, it's just always interesting.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because some porn stars have said that they are totally open about it.
Totally open with their parents.
Yeah, I think Asa Akira, because I've one of my favourite podcasts I listen to is The Fighter and the Kid, and they interviewed Asa Akira.
Yeah.
And pretty sure I remember her saying that she was just like totally open.
She's totally open.
Yeah.
Have you read her books?
Nah, you kind of look like Asa Akira a little bit.
Oh, I love her. She's totally my crush.
We were actually talking about her on the walk in, weren't we?
We were talking about
all three of us getting around her.
Yeah. We were all getting around her, weren't we?
Yeah, what's her book called?
Insatiable. Asa Akira is Insatiable. And then there's A Love Story.
She's got
Porn,
two books.
A Love Story. I think Porn, A Love Story's first. And then
Gotcha.
Insatiable.
She's really smart.
Very, very smart.
Really smart, really well spoken. Yeah, it's interesting. So do you have like, in the industry, like you said, you've read Asa Akira's books, you love her. Do you have people that you look up to that have built themselves like a brand that you...
Of course.
And who are they?
Well, Asa is one of them. And then there are other people, a lot of Europeans too. Well, Angela is the one to look up to, speaking of like, Australian ones who have been very successful.
Angela White?
Yeah.
We tried to get her on the show, actually. I've emailed Angela because she's Melbourne. She's from Melbourne.
Mate, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's, Jodie Moore's another one, Australian, who's built herself up really well. And then there are others like within the males as well. Mm-hmm. Like I totally love Nacho.
Nacho. That's a good name. He must have had a dog named Nacho or something.
Nugget Spray. You look up to Nugget Spray, don't you? I look up to Nugget Spray.
Yeah. So there are a few. Katsumi. They're all the Asians, except for Nacho.
Nacho doesn't sound like an Asian name.
Nacho's Spanish.
What about
so sexy?
What about do you get like so say you have a role, you have a job, you pick up a job in LA or in Melbourne, I don't know where you film, but obviously LA is the hub. The porn hub. And then do you get a choice of who you act with, or do they offer you, hey, we got Johnny, what's his face? Sims.
No, I should know that.
Yeah, but like Johnny Sims, for example, like I know that's a porn dude.
Yeah.
Do you get the right of refusal? Do you get offered who you want to work with?
You can have a no list. Like if there's a really big reason as to why you don't ever want to have to work with a particular person for whatever reason, you can have a no list. Like, in the US, you get told who you're going to be working with before. In Europe, sometimes no. You kind of just turn up, surprise.
Oh, surprise. Really?
Which is interesting, and it's kind of fun because you never know what the day is going to bring, you know. But yeah, in the US, you get to know beforehand, and if you don't want to work with that person, you just say so. But that's not cool to say, I don't want to work with that person. I don't want to work with that person. It's not nice,
So you haven't had any.
You don't want to be high maintenance porn star.
Yeah, you don't want to be high maintenance.
So what about the acting side of things then? Like when you decided that you wanted to take this role on, or this job, I should say, did you start looking at bettering your acting career and
Totally.
and things
I
like
was
that?
oh, I'm okay acting, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm not going to say I'm an actor. I still think I'm really cheesy and like.
Yeah, because notoriously,
Actual mainstream actors are really like, oh my god, like porno. It's cheesy, right?
oh yeah, super
It's
cheesy.
fun though.
Well, I think it's meant to be cheesy in a little
Yeah.
way. Like nearly every porn scene's like a piss
Notoriously,
take.
porn stars are
you know?
shocking actors.
Yeah.
It's like
It's terrible
it's like
Like
whoa.
pussies of the Caribbean,
Look
you know.
at
It's
that.
not supposed to be not meant to win any not meant to win any awards.
We're
Hey,
not
I've got
terrible
a-
actors, the cheesy actors being like in a running sense. Let's just say that fucking is our forte.
How good's like this sausage duo pizza guy that always walks up to like a house? Hey, I've got a large sausage pizza here. Ooh. It's like, I reckon I could be that guy. I reckon I could be the pizza guy.
Have you ever cleaned a pool before, Tommy?
Yeah, I've cleaned a pool.
Oh, have you cleaned a house?
I've
You've cleaned a pool.
I've cleaned a lot of houses.
Oh, you are in, mate.
I
you
reckon
are
I
in
just do
for
that.
sure, 100%.
Yeah. So how long was did you do like an acting course?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
I don't even, like stuff you do like in drama in high school and stuff.
Yeah. And they
But
just
I've
put that in.
always been a bit of a clown, like just a clown of being, just around, and I like drama and just
Yeah.
being a dickhead. So I like the acting.
So what's
As
like?
long as I have so many lines to remember, you don't get.
Oh, you get given lines.
Sometimes you
Really?
get scripts.
Even during the sex scenes?
What do you mean? We're talking about acting.
Yeah, no, but
Sure,
like,
it's
I
not
would assume it's just
amateur freestyle acting.
I would assume it's just all
some,
improv.
you get
You reckon?
scripts. In some sets you
That's
have
what I would think.
scripts.
That's what I would think,
Really?
yeah. Because
Yeah.
if you're an amateur actor, you don't want to be like, oh, guys, we're just going to improv this whole
Yeah,
scene.
yeah. That's what I would
It'd be
do.
a fucking train wreck. Do
I'd bring my own pizza.
you know what I mean? You want to have a script.
Sometimes there's script. I think it's easier, but I guess everyone works differently. I think it's easier to improv, to be honest. I
Really?
find memorizing lines quite challenging.
Yeah.
But I like improv
I'd
because
be
then
the
you
same.
can just be, you can just like morph into this weirdo character or whatever you're playing, and just act it. I think it's quite fun
So
to
what's like-
transform your brain.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so what about the weirdest scene you've done then? Does one come into mind when you're thinking
I don't
real
really
weird
by
scenes?
weird though.
Just like one where you're like, this is weird.
Well, I wouldn't say it's weird because I wouldn't say things are weird because I think things are different, and different styles and people wank to different things, right? Like what rocks,
Roxy Boat.
what rocks your boat. Everyone wants different things. I mean, I've done some really interesting things.
Give us an example.
Well, Kink was one of them. When I shot for Kink, Public Disgrace, that's like totally cool. I shot for them in
Really?
Spain. Yeah. And that's like because you can have a permit to walk people naked. Like, so, I walked slaves.
Okie dokie, guys. Just a little break in today's proceedings to talk about our sponsors. And they are True Pride. True Pride are a wealth creation service who look to work with ambitious individuals like myself and Tommy. We've worked with True Pride to try and help us worry less and get ahead. So basically what they do, guys, they have different levels of wealth creation services. So the bottom tier is budgeting and so forth. The next tier is the investing. The next tier is diversifying. Basically, if you've got any level of, any level that you're at financially, they can help you out. So Tommy's done some great stuff with them. He's saved tons and got a really good budget down now, so he's able to put heaps of money away.
I am a millionaire now.
He's a millionaire. So check those guys out. All it is a phone call and see if they can help you. So head to www.truepride.com.au/ADVF and get on the phone. And then if you do through our link, then you will get your joining fee of $297 waived.
Goodbye.
Wait, next sponsor.
As in, no, I was saying as in goodbye as in like waved.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not
Gotcha.
saying goodbye, you fuck.
Gotcha.
All
You
right,
do things
Carv.
like that, mate.
I do,
You do
yeah.
silly things.
All right, Carv, guys. So Carv, basically it's a virtual assistant company, guys, and it's situated in the Philippines. Really, really good stuff. This is going out to any sort of small business owner, someone starting a project that finds themselves consistently having to do annoying, little gritty jobs, things like that aren't really, they're important, but they're not super important in terms of the big picture of the project or the work you're trying to do. So you can outsource that to guys over in the Carv. They earn a good living over there. We pay them pretty easily over here. $6-7 an hour, is it?
May have gone up a tiny bit.
May have gone up a little bit. Yeah, but I mean, it's not. We're not saying
in fact,
$4,000.
it has gone up. It's not that much. It's not that much.
It's not ridiculous. It's not $4,000 an hour.
It's really cost effective though.
Yeah, it's extremely cost effective. Is probably what I should have said. But we do it for the show here, guys. If you think it's a good idea, head to www.carve.ph and use the promo code /ADVF.
You go to the website www.carve.ph/ADVF and you get your 10 hours
and then
free.
you get your 10 hours free. That's it. Yeah.
Back to the show.
Back to the Hummel. Yeah.
Naked down, public shopping malls, through restaurants or whatever.
Really?
Totally. Stripped them down naked and walked her on dog leashes and whatnot.
So
Shackled up and stuff.
Yeah.
And then took him into, like restaurant or shopping centre and then just objectifyingly humiliated the slave.
But porn is all about equality, of course,
Pissed all over to him.
You did?
Yeah, totally.
Jesus. Just when you
Well,
just when you
right,
thought you had the
submissive.
fucking interview under control.
I love giving a golden shower.
Really?
But yeah, so I'm gonna. Well, it's a thing. So I'm very dominant, and I do femdom type roles.
Right.
As a mistress.
We're not going to work.
Particularly not really that submissive. Depending how good I'm getting fucked, I can kind of be submissive. But I did tell the director of that particular company that next year I will sub for him. But I said, Steve, gonna sub for you. I want to challenge myself mentally, but you can't piss on me.
So normally
and then he just looked at me. He got this look like,
Shit.
So normally it's the other way around, is it?
well, I just I don't know. If I transform my brain into that sadistic person, I'll piss on them.
Yeah.
Is there a really big market for that stuff in porn, or like that real dirty? Because we had this.
I love the dirty stuff.
When I was probably 15. I used to skateboard around and just smoke weed with my mates. That's pretty much what my life revolved around on the weekends. And we had a mate who, he was a bit older than us, like 18, and he had a caravan out the back of his mum and dad's house. So we go around there and we just smoke weed and stuff. Yeah. And but if anyone new came into the caravan, this is totally fucked, by the way, but anyone new came into the caravan, they had to sit through something that we called the poo porno.
See, I draw the line at poo.
Yeah,
poo,
so that's
poo
right.
and vomit.
Yeah. So we had you would come around and and it wasn't me. It wasn't my caravan, so I didn't have anything to do with it. I got put through once, but it was fucked. I don't even want to talk about it. But is there a massive market for that kind of stuff in porn? I don't know, because I actually don't. I genuinely do not watch that stuff.
You can't piss on someone in the US.
Right.
It's banned, prohibited. But in Europe, you can piss on them.
Right.
Shit, it's something I wouldn't have no idea. I would definitely say it's out of the question in the US. But in Europe, I don't know. Not something I would ever consider doing. I'm like, it's all right.
Fucking Europeans.
A bit weird. They just...
Is it Pasadena mudslide?
Shout out to all our European listeners.
Yeah, that's right. Hello, Santiago Rodriguez for.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Tommy, you got any? Do you want to go to? Sorry to cut you off. Yes.
You're right.
Did you want to go to?
Bit of GBS?
You got any good, bad, and the science?
Well, on that kinky note, I think we'll move on to some news. Now, Yasmin, I was telling you before about how this works. This is just a current affairs sort of segment during the show, and it's something good that's happened during the week, something not so good, and then something sciencey, because we know you love science.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll be tested. All right, so I tried to keep it relatively naked just to assume the gist. So,
Assume the position.
So, the good. Naked man exposes his sausage at Waffle House. So, apparently, this man was showing a waffle lot of skin. It's a bad pun. I don't know why I threw that in there. Sorry.
Is that your own original work?
It was. It sucked. I was
terrible.
smoking a shit gag. Okay,
out.
so a Georgian man is facing public indecency charges after allegedly trying to force his way into a Waffle House while stark naked. Bashir Rashid, 36, just going to throw Bashir under the bus here, was arrested June the 7th after he drove his BMW, or Big Man's Willie, that's another poor joke, to a Waffle House in Sandy Springs. He got out of the car and tried to enter the restaurant without clothes, according to NBC. Witnesses told police that Rashid began stroking his penis after exiting his car and walked up to the entrance where he allegedly pressed his sex organ, his schlong, his Vietnamese dong, his cock and balls, just in case you don't know what it is, against the glass door. Now, my question to you guys was, what is your funniest case of public indecency? Now, I think we've already heard yours.
Yeah. That's
Do you have
my
another one?
public indecency.
Yeah. Getting slaved along the road publicly and all that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be slave next year.
How do you mean?
Well, I told the director, who he's the producer of that particular website, that I'll be the slave next year.
Right.
But it'll be a once off thing because he only shoots a submissive once. So that'll be something. Yeah, I'll be objectified in the street, but hopefully not pissed on.
I walked into a nightclub in Greece. I didn't walk in, actually. I was
Drove
on
you
a
in.
real serious bender here in my European trip, and I got walked in by two blonde-haired chicks that were hanging around from Sydney.
Yeah.
At some point, for some reason, I got wedgied that hard that my jocks had been like atomic wedgie, basically.
What, by one of the chicks?
By just one of the boys, you know.
One of the boys, yeah.
Me and my mate Matt, it was Europe. Like every time we had a chance, we'd rip each other's underpants.
I do that in part of my show. Sometimes if they're real shitheads, I pull and rip it right out over their head.
Yeah, atomic wedgie.
The atomic wedgie.
We actually got the underwear and tied it around my neck and put we found some like little bite, like a choker thing around my face.
Oh yeah.
And then to bite down her. And then I got walked into the nightclub in the middle of the dance floor on all fours by those two blonde chicks looking with my underwear wrapped around my neck.
They would have let you right in.
It was pretty much the same as you've seen. Just less fucking.
Were you one of the chicks? She was one of the chicks.
That was probably my most publicly indecent
moment.
entry to a nightclub anyway.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll move on to the bad. That was good though. I like that. 7 out of 11. 7 out of 11. Public officer accused of watching porn, masturbating on duty. This is just so. This is the most sexual show I think we've ever done.
Yeah. Which is right on point here.
This is on peak. A former police officer in Camden, South Carolina, is facing misconduct charges after allegedly watching porn and masturbating whilst on duty.
Oh, who cares?
It doesn't matter, does it?
No, everyone does it.
Maybe not on duty.
Hang on a sec.
On duty?
Yeah, I mean, when you're working though.
Yeah, that's right. You should be doing it on duty. Just
It's a horny cop.
keep it to your lunch break. Marshall Lee Harden, again, I'm going to throw him under the bus. The second, not senior, the second, was arrested Friday in connection with an incident last December at a local park. According to the arrest warrant, Harden, who's 41, has a very appropriate last name there, Harden, was seen watching porn on his personal cell phone whilst rubbing his penis through his uniform pants. Now, guys, my question is, what is the weirdest place or situation you have tried to nut one out, so to speak?
I'm so many.
Nut one out.
I'm just going to put you on the spot there.
An aeroplane.
An aeroplane?
Yeah.
I feel like you would have done some more weirder ones than that.
Yeah. Do you know what? Like a lot.
Wait, as in like not in the toilet, as in just in the seat of the
Not
airplane?
in the seat.
What? Oh, that's weird. Oh, cool.
I was horny as.
Pretty easy for a girl though.
It is.
Pretty easy for a girl for sure.
Yeah. Well,
Totally easy
I
for
reckon
a
I'd
girl.
definitely get kicked off of a plane if I was.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you couldn't do that.
Thanks
for
a lot,
guys,
Bin Laden.
It's a bit harder on a plane.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't really know any weird places.
Were you on the plane?
No, I
Next to Yasmin?
never on the plane. Funny fact though, funny fact.
Talk to me.
I once went 10 months without masturbating to prove a point to my mate.
How's that?
Oh my God.
No problem. So
International.
Torture.
It was my international no masturbation policy. I called it, and I made it 6 months overseas. And I came home, and my mate didn't believe me that I'd make it 6 months.
yeah.
How many wet dreams did you have in that 6 months?
Well, the thing was, what happened was, my buddy Matt came out of the shower at this hostel. We just started traveling together. I'd been traveling for 3 months, and he just joined the trip. And he said he came out of the shower and he goes, this is Royzy, by the way.
Oh yeah. Good old Rosie.
Yeah, shout out to the Roy boy.
I haven't even met him. I feel like I know him.
Yeah. He comes out and he says, just had a bloody great wank. And I said, man, that's our shower.
Yeah.
And he goes, what? Where have you been doing it?
Yeah.
I said, I haven't, mate. I just haven't even thought about it.
Yeah.
And he didn't believe me. So I said, well, fuck you, man. I'm gonna go 6 months. I'm gonna go the whole trip without. I'm gonna call it my international no masturbation policy.
But how do you prove that?
Well, it was a mate's. It was a honesty
honest
policy, you know.
agreement. Yeah.
And I was bullshitting the whole time. I was like this every day. But anyway, I made it 10 months, and it was only because I came home to Australia and the nights were just getting way too restless. It was fucked. I don't know. I can't remember if I had a wet dream, but I have had wet dreams before. I remember my first one was horrible.
I have them all the time.
Really?
How did girls
that
have
was a
them?
dude thing.
Well, not like wet, I guess, because you can't really tell. Because if you end up getting really wet down there, it'll dry up in the morning anyway. But I have like erotic dreams.
Do you
Totally.
wake up? Because guys can wake up in the middle of a. Because I did it.
I've woken up masturbating before many
You've
times.
masturbated. You were about to say masturbated.
Masturbated.
I've masturbated.
Everything that Yasmin done has to put a yes at the front of it. Yeah, yes.
No, so it's waking up while masturbating.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Masturbating.
masturbating. Oh, that's true. I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah, I'll look it up.
But when you're a girl and you have a wet dream, like, do you? Because when you're a dude, you ejaculate. It's fully like, oh my god, what the fuck? But for a girl, do you orgasm when you have a wet dream?
I have done.
Really?
Yeah. But just because you orgasm doesn't mean like female ejaculation is just another topic, and it's not like not all girls do it and But I have woken up orgasm before.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. We are all the same, aren't we?
We are all the same.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yep. Humans are just born and smelly.
Horny little creatures.
The science. Giant. Now, this is a complete 180 off everything we've been talking about. Oh, giant gathering of galaxies discovered.
Couldn't find any science that involved dicks and
sexy
porn
science.
and
Uranus.
Oh, that's true. Well, Uranus isn't a planet anymore, is it?
Isn't it?
Oh, no, wait,
What?
it is. No, it is. Wait, your Uranus or my anus?
My anus definitely isn't.
Your Uranus is a planet. My anus is a planet. Is your
Let's
Uranus
go.
a planet?
Science. Come on, science.
Okay. Giant gathering of galaxies. Do you get into the science?
Oh, I love science.
What sort of science do you like? Star Trekky science?
Oh my god.
Don't get me started, she's saying.
Yeah, that's
Don't get me
right.
started.
Like, all right.
But in all seriousness, let's get started.
Human biology.
Oh, you like human biology?
Yeah, I like
That's
human
science.
biology.
What sort?
Hang on.
It's a trick question.
This
It's a
is
trick
confusing.
Okay. Giant gathering of galaxies discovered hiding on the far side of the Milky Way. An immense wall of galaxies stretching over 380 million light years is hiding beyond the far side of the Milky Way. Dubbed the Vela supercluster, or the Yasmin Scott, this galaxy hoard sits about 800 million light years away in this constellation. Research report online November 8th in the monthly notices letters. Despite its size and relative proximity, Vela has gone unnoticed because it is largely obscured by our own galaxy. Now, my question, this is a little bit of a weird segue, but you know how when people are sort of quiet at home and, you know, they're just lying in their beds or in the shower. I do it with them in the shower and I get really philosophical. Do you ever get really philosophical about this sort of stuff? Because this is where I get philosophical about. But I want to know what you get philosophical about.
I get philosophical about many aspects of life and not just sexual stuff.
I know. So give us one.
I'm a thinker.
It's a tough question.
Very tough question.
Very tough
Very
question.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I don't know. This is
You're
really
asking.
tough.
You're asking. Give us some. Hi, Yasmin. And let's hear some philosophical waxings from you.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, that's like
Too tough? Have I put you on the
Too
spot too
tough.
much?
It's a
No,
hard
I'm out.
question
Yeah.
for me to answer, or I want to answer because I don't want to upset anybody or
That's true. All right.
be a dickhead. No.
But that's true. Should we move on?
Yeah, I can't
you
really. What I think
Super philosophical ones when you're sitting at home
well,
in the shower.
What do you mean philosophical though?
Well, like for me personally, I always think about that sort of shit, like how far away that is, and like just what would be going on out there. And then I always think about what it's going to be like when I'm dead, and like what I'm going to be doing.
Oh, that's too deep.
That's what I do. That's how deep I go.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Well, I don't really know if this, but I the thing that I do my head in most about is like, how we all got here. I constantly, every like few weeks or something, I'll have like a just mad little brain pattern that'll just be thinking about how it all started. And it's just impossible that we're even here because I don't understand like how we are sitting where we are.
But something that far away, like in that Vela supercluster, that like there could be a parallel universe. There could be like there could be another Yasmin Scott and an Adventure Fit Radio interviewing you right now. That's fucked.
Yeah,
We're having a party on Uranus.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to have
100%.
a party on my anus. Maybe on your anus.
Cool. That was good. So, what about is it when you're going into the porn industry and you said you did like your first double penetration scene the other day? Like,
Last in when was that? In October. The end of October. Yeah.
Well, that's the other day, pretty much.
Kind of.
Yeah.
The other day is every single day that we've all been alive for.
Yeah. So, do you have to like gear yourself up for these things, or have you done most of this stuff in the past, or do you have to be like, all right, this is the big double penetration scene, like?
Well, I had to train myself for anal. Right?
How do you do that?
With butt plugs, so different sizes, and then working your way up, stretching it open, and da da da. So I'd train myself in anal, and then I kind of like, when fucking or doing anal, I would put, like a dildo in one or fingers in one hole, and then like fucking the other. And I'm like, yeah. And then I knew, because, girls talk or whatever, that double penetration is actually more enjoyable than anal. Like anal's very sensitive, but everyone says about how double penetration is like really good, but it is. So I was just like, you know what? Once you figured out the butt, you just like sticking something in your pussy is like, it just makes it better. It's like the cherry on the cake.
Yeah, most of the girls that I've seen the old double penetration, they seem to be having a pretty good time.
Yeah, it's really good.
But we don't know if they're acting.
True.
Maybe they're just acting.
Well, they're fucking good actors. They are good actors. If I don't say so myself. So what about? Is there anything? I don't really know what. I've seen some pretty weird stuff. Like I've seen two in one, and like three of the
I would love to do
hummels.
2 in 1.
Is there anything like when does it become like what's out of reach? Like what? I'm not saying like how many dicks can you fit in your bum? I'm not asking that. I'm saying like, is there anything that apart from like the dirty like poo and all that crap, all that stuff?
Oh no, you enema. You cleaned yourself. There's a big process before us. There's no shit.
No, I mean like getting shit on. I mean not apart from that. I mean like, is there still things in the porn world that you want to do?
Totally, I want to do two cocks up my ass, but I got to train my butt to be like, no, I'm being deadly serious.
Sorry, it's just really hard for us.
It's really hard for us,
yes, but it's really hard for us. You got to understand, we're two warm-blooded young men. And just the way you phrase it is
you're so nonchalant about it.
Well, I suppose there's not really any other way to phrase it.
Oh, no, there's no really other way to phrase it, but like it's just amazingly nonchalant. Like the way you talk about that, like cocks and bums and stuff, is the way I talk about opening a door for a nice pretty lady. It's like, how you going, cock and bum?
Yeah. It's like, I can't wait to go home and make myself a nice toasted cheese sandwich with 2 slices of cheese. Right there, right in the middle of the bun there. Just squeeze it right in. Can't bloody wait for that. It's
and then have anal sex.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's great.
So what do you think? Did you? I'm trying to get this back on track here. Did you study? Did you study anything back in the past? Like, and my other question is 2 in 1. Like, what longevity do you see that you have in the porn industry? Because obviously there's a
limited time frame, isn't there? Like you've got to be always on.
For most people,
yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, you can go beyond and you can do cougar porn, and there's a big need because there's not many like attractive women over the age of 40 who do that and are good. So, I mean, to say that there's a time limit, yes, there is, and no, there isn't. I mean, some might not want to do that, but the need is there if you want to, still go like beyond a certain age. There's no stopping you. Like you can if you want to.
Okay, so is it like like a footy player or a rugby player? You can play 200, 300 plus games, but it's very hard. Is it hard for a porn star to stay? What's the word I'm looking for? Stay good and stay successful for that long?
Well, I wouldn't know because I haven't got reached to that point in my career yet anyway. Like I've just started filming pretty much, so, but you just keep going. Keep going. And I guess everyone knows when it's time to retire, like they know within themselves that they just, they just don't want to anymore.
For sure.
Just keep filming. But I mean, the need is there if they want to keep filming when they're old. Like some guys, like look at Steve Holmes, who's, heaps of guys who are much older still filming. If you've got a good cock,
Good cock's a good cock. That's what I've always said.
Keep your heart on, like, you got a good cock. Like, they can keep on going for ages, and there are women too. Like, look at Lisa Ann and, others who are over,
Quite old.
Oh,
Older.
mature, and have really strong, successful careers. Like Lisa Ann's amazing.
Yeah.
She's someone to really look up to and aspire to, So it's just whenever you feel within yourself, like I just don't, I want to move on to something else now in my life.
So what about outside porn? What do you like to do? What
I'm
are
a
some of your
gym
hobbies?
junkie.
Yeah.
Massive.
Bill's a gym junkie. He goes to the gym a
Yeah,
lot.
I'm a gym junkie. Like literally, like it hurts me, pains me deeply inside if I miss a day.
Yeah.
What
about
type
if
of
it's a rest day,
what
though?
type of training do you do?
I do cardio always fasted in the morning, and then I train weights for another 5 times a week as well. In
So
addition
you
to that,
double days? do you
double
mean?
days.
Really?
Yeah, 2
Shit.
days a week is singles, just a cardio, and then 5 days is double.
And what do you do for your cardio?
Usually just like a treadmill or a bike or a cross trainer.
Yes, you do like a long form, like.
Yeah, low impact.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
And then your weights is more bodybuilding sort of stuff?
Kind of, but not to really be a bodybuilder, more just to be toned.
To be toned, yeah.
Well, if you're going to build, this is what obviously
that's
a lot
right.
of people think.
Correct.
That you never probably a girl like who's not really, unless you really mean to, going to be big and
Unless
bulky.
you're
Just
full
makes
on.
you
All
look
about the
makes you look lean and trim and,
Yeah.
and good. Makes your body look good.
Yeah.
Cool. So you've never gone to like weightlifting or anything?
To what?
Powerlifting, weightlifting?
No, that's a bit too.
Would you ever?
You don't like the barbells?
No, that's not my thing. It's not really what I'm kind of into.
Okay.
There's a lot of really good euphemisms in weightlifting. There's one lift called the snatch. The next is the clean and jerk.
jerk.
I normally jerk and clean after,
Yep.
but that's always a good line in there for you in the porn star web. But
I've never seen a weightlifting porno. That'd be interesting. Can I jerk over your snatch?
Anyway, so we'll get you out of here because we know you got to get back. You got more fans out there today and so forth. What's your end game? Do you have any like? We do have a few questions for you before we go at the end. But what do you have like a goal in porn? Do you have anything that you really aspire to?
I mean, I have many goals, but I don't like, there are goals in my mind and things like that. Well, at the moment, my next goal would be 2 cocks in my asshole. But obviously everyone has ambitions. Like it's like, every actor would love to win a Logie or an Academy Award or, I would love to win an AVN or an XFIS award. But whether or not that happens, it's really not in I can't predict these things. It's really up to what I can do. I'd really love a fleshlight deal, but who knows if I'll ever get that. But, it's always nice to have goals or dreams and
What does a
everything.
fleshlight deal mean? Like,
Fleshlight tool, your own, it's a fleshlight.
like a personal.
It'll be moulded on my own pussy or on my ass. It's
right.
like a
Shit.
masturbator.
I actually stuck my fingers in one before. It was so creepy.
Yeah, it was
I didn't
weird.
like it. The lady
It wa-
forced me to. I
it was
was pretty much fleshlight assaulted.
You were. It was the only time that I felt
My
like
fingers.
I was.
That was my fingers.
Yeah, it was the only time I felt like I was questioning my sexuality because I didn't really want to touch it.
No, it was gross. I'm not actually happy that I did it.
Yeah.
But if you have like one particular adult star that you're totally infatuated by, you would love their flashlight to be able to and you imagine watching them on camera with that wrapped around your cock. It would be like in your mind when you're in that moment, you'd feel like you were fucking them for real.
So do a lot of
Would you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't disagree a little bit.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm sure there are people that would really, really
Yeah.
There
feel
probably
that
will
way.
be guys.
For me, I'm like, nah.
I don't follow like specific people though. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I
don't know.
I definitely have favourite porn stars.
I do?
For sure.
Oh, right. I didn't know that was a thing. Maybe probably it is.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
I got an A team.
Yep.
I got a starting 5.
Yazzie?
Yazzy's playing power
She's
forward.
up there. She's number 3. She's number 3. You got to get the 2 and 1 first. Should we go to 6 from 6?
Let's do it. So, Yasmin, so we have 6 questions to finish off.
Yeah.
3 from me, 3 from Tommy. So my first question is, are you well-travelled?
Yes.
Good. That's not the question. The question is, well, that's good. That's a good answer. The question is, what's your favourite destination on the planet? Your favourite place you've been?
Spain.
Really?
I'm totally destined to live in Spain for the rest of my life, I
Cool.
think. Yeah.
Whereabouts? San Sebastian?
Ibiza?
Do you know what? Besides the fact that it doesn't have a beach, I love Madrid.
Okay.
Real?
Yeah, I love Madrid. and also like Valencia and Sitges, like away out of Barcelona. So yeah,
Yeah, cool. Spain's awesome.
I love Spain so much.
Have you been to San Sebastian?
No.
San Sebastian's really nice. I spent a few weeks there. Sorry, probably about a week.
And Miami. I totally dig Miami as
Cool.
well.
Nice. So my next question is same path. Anywhere you can go, dream destination. Where is it top of your bucket list?
Oh, there's so many. Well, Japan.
Oh.
Japan has been on my bucket list for many years. I just haven't got there yet. But I intend to hopefully get to Japan very, very soon because it's one place I'd really, really want to see.
I was in Japan last year with my trips, Adventure
yeah.
Travel. We went over to Japan, and it is the culture shock is just out of this world.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and it's so much fun. There's so much to do in Tokyo,
Totally.
and then like Kyoto's amazing with its heritage and all the old temples, and it's really fun and it's really different.
I studied a little bit Japanese in school, and then ever since I saw Kelly Osbourne's series when she went to Japan, actually she might have done 2 series of it. I've been like, oh my God, I just have to get there.
Oh, it's the best. It's
Yeah.
It's got epic snow if you're into snow. It's
Yeah.
got pumping surf nobody ever talks about.
It's so unique.
Yeah, and it's so easy to travel there too. Like the bullet train, so much better than flying. Like you can get on a train from Kyoto to
Do you know what that
to
is called
Tokyo?
in Japanese?
Shinkansen.
Yeah.
Shinkansen. Yep. Nice one, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, Japan's great. So my next question is,
Last question.
do you have any books that you have read that have impacted you really positively that you like to recommend? Can be any type of book.
Asa Akira's books, very, very easy to read.
Cool.
To be honest, completely honest with you, I really have to be captured by a book within the first page or I just can't read it at all.
Page.
Yeah, the first page.
Jeez, you are brutal.
Yeah, I'm really terrible. Like
This
if it
book is
doesn't,
published by HarperCollins. Fuck this!
like I'm in the first chapter page.
Yeah, no, we know what you mean.
I'm really fussy. Well, not fussy. I just lose attention really easily in a book if it hasn't captured me straight away. And generally, I like things written like autobiographies or biographies and stuff like that, based on true.
Oh, we've already mentioned Asa Akira earlier in the show. What about one more?
Yeah.
You got one more?
What's another one I've read? I'm not much of a. I'll be sorry, all you readers and readers out there. I am
Sorry,
not.
nerds.
I'm not
Like
much. I am not much of a book reader.
Picture for a real bookworm.
Terribly. No, I'm not. I mean, but yeah, since high school, since after primary school, I haven't really been much of a reader.
Yeah,
No
that's cool. No
encyclopedias or atlases that you get around?
No worries. So, Tommy, you're up.
Yes. Big inspiration, role model, someone you look up to.
Growing up.
Growing
is normally
up.
how you phrase
It's
that
normally-
question.
Well, it's either growing up or it's currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you can
Sorry.
choose who was your biggest role model. Let me rephrase. Who was your biggest role model growing up as a kid, or who do you currently look up to?
Well, I was a swimmer growing up, so my role models growing up were usually athletes.
Ian Thorpe.
I love Ian Thorpe.
He's good, isn't he?
Actually, my sister looks like Ian Thorpe.
Really?
Yeah.
We know that your sister listens to the show.
He's got his feet as well.
Well, we know that your sister listens to the show, and she's probably going to be a little bit.
I don't know, maybe.
She won't listen to the show, I'll tell you.
We're bitches to each other. It's totally okay.
So, anyone apart from Ian Thorpe?
Yeah, Ian Thorpe, and I know he's anyway. The other one that my poster boy I used to have up on my wall, he's not that great now. He's a bad boy now. It was Ian Thorpe. I used to have Scott Miller up on my wall before he turned into a bit of a bad boy.
Scott Miller, the guy that blew right out, put on heaps of weight, and then came back.
He was so hot. He was like, I remember
him that
having
well.
one poster of him that I think I tore out of a Dolly magazine, and he was just like the water was just like on. He was so hot. It was totally one of them.
Dolly Doctor. I remember the old Dolly Doctor at primary school. That was
Dolly
a good one.
Doctor.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, yeah, Dolly Doctor.
That was always a good read.
And
Girls would write in about
yeah.
You know.
Okay, next one. Now I've completely forgotten. You've got Dolly Doctor in my head now. What is the next question? Oh, yes.
Dinner.
What do you like? That's the last one. What do you like to do in your downtime, spare time?
Besides going to the gym,
Yes.
yeah, I like to go for like coffee or dinners or lunches with friends.
Yep. Nice.
Beach walks. that
Cool.
type
Good
of stuff. Yeah.
And you're in Sydney, right? In Sydney?
Yes.
Is the food and cafe culture in Sydney?
Melbourne's much better.
Yeah, Melbourne has a
Yeah.
really good. Well, I live in Port Melbourne, which is just down the road, and I
Yeah.
used to live in South Melbourne, which is literally like 5 minutes walk away, and it's coffee and cafe.
Yeah, I
capital
love
of
that
the
about
universe.
Melbourne. Totally
Yeah.
love it. It's just I'm a big coffee. I don't really drink. Occasionally, maybe something, but big coffee person. So I love coming here because just that European kind of coffee vibe
coffee.
and
Yeah, it's the
food
best.
as well. Big foodie.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Cool.
Final question. Now, this is a tough one, so you can have a bit of time. If you could invite 3 people, dead or alive, to dinner. Yeah. Dead or alive.
Yes.
Who would they be?
Oh my God, this is so
why?
tricky because you put the dead people in too.
Yeah. They can't be dead at the table. They got to be, they got to be alive when they're at the table. So, let's say you said Hitler, for example. And, well, maybe you want him dead.
Hitler's actually the number one person that we get.
Everyone says
Yeah,
Hitler.
actually. Oh, I stood on top of Hitler's old bunker in Berlin and all
Really?
that. Yeah, it's a very interesting
Wow.
city.
For sure. Berlin's supposed to be great.
But I'm not going to say Hitler. Only because my grandmother was Jewish and then my
Yeah.
dad's German and just, I'm not going to say that.
It's very conflicting.
Yeah, it's a bit conflicting. But, I would say, oh my God, this is so tricky.
Well, assuming Asa Akira would be one of them.
I want Michael Jackson,
That's our second biggest.
Prince,
Ooh,
and Asa Akira.
that'd be good. What would you talk about?
Can you imagine?
It'd be weird.
Totally. But that's a spice of life, right?
Yeah.
Creative people are always a bit different.
Sure. Michael Jackson was amazing. But
Michael
very,
Jackson and
very
Prince
different.
are definitely a couple of
Prince.
strange cats.
And
good.
oh my God, can I have Madonna too, please?
Well, he planted Asa Akira in your head, so you can have it. You can have.
Can I have Madonna too, please?
Instead of Asa Akira?
Yeah.
Oh no, can I have all 4?
Or you can have
No,
like...
no.
and
you
Nicki
can't.
Minaj.
No, you can't.
you can't,
You got to
no.
choose 3.
It's gotta be 3.
Madonna or Asa Akira. One of them's got to go.
Oh no, it's not fair.
Unless you wanted to put
And
Madonna's
I
body
want
on...
Elvis as well.
Yeah, well, this is too much.
And Patrick Swayze.
For fuck's sake, this is.
fucked. This is
Cut her
ridiculous.
off. Cut
I
her
want
off.
a dinner
Yeah.
party.
Get
I
out.
told you I'm a foodie.
All right. Sounds
that's
like
great.
a fun party anyway.
Yeah. Well, awesome, Yaz. That was cool. Where can people find you? How can people get contact with you? Your social medias? Anything you want to plug?
They can
Not
contact.
plug. Sorry.
Anything you want to.
Well, I can be on Instagram, which is love Yasmin YASMIN Scott SCOTT. My Twitter is capital YASMIN and then Scott capital SCOTT triple X lowercase. My website yasminscott.com is upcoming. It's project over Christmas and New Year to get that finally up and running. And you can see some of my films, like if you Google me, many companies like, Evil Angel Digital Playground, Private. I could go on and on, but just give me a Google. You should follow my social media and I tweet about all that anyway.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, Yasmin.
Thanks for having me, you guys. It's so much fun.
Yeah, that's
Loved it.
good.
Thank you.
And alrighty, that's a wrap. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for listening. If you are a first-time listener and you enjoy the show, please subscribe. If you are a subscriber, please leave us a rating and review, as all the ratings and reviews that you do leave really help us climb the rankings, get more downloads, get more cash in the bank, basically, and more people hearing what we do, which helps us bring you better shows, more shows, video shows. So everything that we're building it for you, but we need your help. So please subscribe, please review. Tommy, show notes. You want to tell them how to get the show notes?
Yeah, jump onto www.adventurefittravel.com, guys. You'll see
/radio?
I was about to say the long way,
mate,
actually.
sorry.
You
Keep cutting me off.
fucking, yeah.
It's been a long day.
So it has been a long day. So, guys, click on to radio. So, www.adventurefittravel.com. Jump into the radio there. The episodes are there. You'll also be able to jump into the show notes, which is down the bottom of the page of every episode that we upload. And all the stuff that we talk about in this show and all the other shows, guys, you'll be able to jump on there and see anything you miss. You can also join the movement, Bill.
Join the movement. Join the movement. Join the mailing list, and
mailing
you'll
list.
never miss out on anything that we have coming up.
You'll never go broke again.
Don't forget to check out our sponsors, www.truepride.com.au/ADVF. Get your joining fee waived. Carve, www.carve.ph/ADVF. Get 10 hours free on any project. And Adventure Fit Travel. Use radio when you go to www.adventurefittravel.com on any purchase, and you will get 10% off. That is a shitload of money.
That's 10%.
That is 10%. That is double what you would get if you were to get one shitty ass 5%
Yeah, that's
discount.
right. Yeah, you don't want 5%, you want 10%. But until next week, see you later.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.